I have a bit of a dichotomy in my growing up. I grew up mostly with my permanent residence being in a suburb of Milwaukee. However, we spent most weekends in Chicago, in Little Italy, in my Italian family's area, which was very close to other ethnic neighborhoods. And there was a lot of, there was a lot of racial discrimination and things like that going on. So, and it was the city, right? So I have this dichotomy of being in the suburbs and being in the city, which really shaped a lot of my views growing up. Now, I also had a lot of very strong women in my family, in particular in Chicago, where the women all held jobs. My grandma, my great aunts, and it was an Italian neighborhood. There is such a thing as the matriarch of the family, very, very strong women. So that was great. I also, in the suburbs, I grew up in a neighborhood of about 25 boys and 2 girls. I was one of 2 girls. So I learned to play, I learned to play like a boy. I learned to stand my ground. And that was very helpful. And then my parents, I have 2 brothers, and my parents went way out of their way to make sure we were all treated equally. Like, there's all kinds of stories there that I won't go into. So I entered my career with that kind of background, and also learning leadership skills in Girl Scouting. So I was very strong. I stood up for who I was. I stood up for myself. That was something that I learned. I spent 32 years in 3 corporations, and I was able to advance in my career through a lot of mentorship. And later what I understood was sponsorship. Right. And there's a big difference between mentorship and sponsorship. And, I believed I had such strong beliefs that I started to think that, in order to hit a glass ceiling, you must have to do something wrong, because I was able to advance my career until the day I hit the glass ceiling, and I hit it really, really hard. Right. Because I was like, I didn't do anything wrong. And it was like, oh, like, aha, you don't have to do anything wrong. Right. And luckily I had great mentors and sponsors
So was it
that
an inflection point, Kerrie, where you actually felt it
oh,
clearly?
huge inflection point. Huge inflection point. And what happened as a result of that is I became one of the best mentors of women, right? Because now I understood so many things even leading up to it that I chose to ignore or I chose to challenge. And I chose just not to accept. I understood these things leading up to it that were really bias and discrimination that I had experienced even prior to hitting the glass ceiling. So it was an inflection point. It was an eye-opening experience, and I cherish it. Your challenges are a gift because it's where you grow the strongest, right? You grow so much from those challenges. That's what they're there for. And so it wasn't the last time I hit the glass ceiling. I hit the glass ceiling probably 1.5 times more. I know I say a half a time because it wasn't quite a stop. A glass ceiling is a stop, right? And a restart. But I was just so thankful for that experience because it's allowed me to help women and sponsor women. So if I can, Sumit, just the difference between mentoring and sponsoring, just real quick. Sponsoring means that you're actually standing up for the person. You are advocating for the person to advance in their career. You are standing behind them and giving them, saying they are ready for this promotion. They should be in this promotion, and you're sponsoring the person. It's a lot different than mentoring. And it's so important that we sponsor women because it's much more common for men to get sponsored than women to get sponsored.